Hello and welcome, I'm Misstical. This Misstical Gamer will jumping into Watch Your Realms. We're going to have a look at Malrik's Hall of Illusions. Now, there's been a relatively large change coming. It's just arrived on the forerunner. I've been doing some running around with it. I want to get everything straight so you are aware of what's happening before it arrives, okay? So we're just going to go through what happens in the actual Halls of Illusion. So the bottom bit we can get rid of. That's about how we're getting rewards and that sort of stuff, and keystones, so we can get rid of those. Don't need to worry about them. And we will just go through these top 5 points really, with one of them being probably more important than the others as well. So let's jump into the first point then. So the first point they raise is level 1 to 2 Keystones will now be able to use an auto fight on them. So as we plug them in, we can insert them. We can see we've got an auto fight down there, which is quite handy for us, okay? And then if we plug in any of the level 2 ones, you just get an auto fight. So once you've done one fight, you can save that and that's it, done. Level 3, nothing. So as you go up, you can see insert these. There's no auto fight there ability there for you, okay? So it's just the level 1 to 2 ones. But once you've done one fight, it will save that for you, and boom, there you go. You're good for all level 1 to 2 fights with your auto battles. So that's nice and easy for you. Now the other bit they've got is you can destroy stuff. So you can hit the destroy button at the bottom there, and then destruction feature commands can choose to destroy Trial Keystones in the Keystone selection interface. There we go. You can choose to destroy them down there. And then you can either select all, and that will pick up all the level 1 to 2 ones. You can't do levels 3, 4 and 5. You can select them manually, or if you actually just select the keystone before you go to insert it. Now, as you can see, there's a destroy beside it. Now, when you hit destroy keystones cannot be recovered and will not grant any items. So if you destroy them, you don't get anything, okay? So bear that in mind. If you destroy them, you're just making room in the storage for yourself, okay? That's it. You're not doing anything else, right? So that is the sort of second thing they've brought in, or they will be bringing it in when the patch drops. Now the next thing they've brought in, which I think is quite good, and it is worth having a look at actually, is the battle gallery. Now, added recommended hero display for some tags in the stage details preview. So if you go to the battle gallery, you can have a look at all the modifiers in there, and there are so many. It's absolutely mad. If you have a look, this is it. So you select each of the modifiers at the top, and then you can scroll down to see all the different types of those modifiers as well. I mean, there's absolutely loads. I mean, fair play to the person who's done it. I mean, absolutely brilliant job. I think this as a concept for the same map and different modifiers has worked out really well. So whoever designed it, I think deserves a pat on the back. Well done, absolutely brilliant. If you could now go on and design Apex coins, that would be handy as well, because you've done a good job on this. I don't think you were the same people. So there we go. Right, that's that bit done. Now moving on, what else have they brought in? This is, if we have a look now, added an energy feature for Trial Keystones. When commanders enter a trial, 1 point of Keystone energy will be deducted. When a battle concludes, if the Trial Keystone energy is greater than 0, commanders can choose to abandon rewards, leave the trial and retain the Trial Keystone to attempt the trial again. There we go, that's what it does. Now each keystone, as you can see there, we've got energy 2 of 2, and then over by the challenge or auto fight, it's going to use up 1 point of energy for us, okay? So all keystones have 1 point of energy, okay? It's not you and you don't build up or save energy or something like that. Every keystone has energy attached to it, and they all have 2 that I've seen. They all have 2 pieces of energy attached to it, and that is it. And then as soon as you go in, you then use up one of the pieces of energy, okay? So there we are. And then we're just running this as an auto battle. Now, one of the things about the auto battle is you need to be aware. I think this keystone and the rerunning of it is quite handy for the auto battle side of it, because you can fail. I mean, I sort of think I get through this one, but it's more of an accident than anything else. So as we go on to stage 2, quite often in stage 2, we get the random deployment, don't we? Either of bottom left or bottom right or top right. We get that additional random spawn point. There we go. It's spawned at top right, which is more luck than anything else on my part that I've actually got someone there. So you may want to think about, when you make up your auto battle, putting down ranged fighters on each of the 3 corners where these spawn points come from, and then that way you'll be able to cover off any of the spawn points. I say range fighters because even on the platform base, if you put down a mage or something like that and you get one of the detonators or things that self-destruct there, then that point where your mage is stood is going to get hit as well. So you may wish to consider that. Looking forward, so I will probably change this around to have 3 fighters or 3 fighters that can hit airborne units, and that way I'm probably more covered off, but you'll have to be aware of what's actually happening. Now the next thing they've done is they've added this as well. They've optimized the chest settlement animation when clearing the halls. I didn't really notice it, doesn't leave me, but we can either claim the reward or, like you see there, you can not claim it and leave. Okay, there's your other options. So that's how the auto battle works, and a little bits of quirks within it about where you want to put everyone. Now, the other thing about the energy costs. So let's go and fail something now. Let's insert this one. There's a couple of issues, and we'll send some of the feedback back to them and see if anything gets done. So we go on to our auto battle this time, and now this time on wave 2, as you can see, it's bottom left, it's not top right where our mobs come from, and this time we're just letting mobs come out. Now we're not killing anything down here, they're just bringing up the lightning or the poison cloud or whatever it is to do a bit of damage. We're all covered by healing, and now we've got our last 20 seconds to go because we've run out of a timer now, and now you can see we've done what, 105 out of the 106 enemies, so we've got 1 enemy left standing. Boom, there we go, and it's ended. Now on the end screen here, there's no way for me to know if I didn't watch the fight that I missed one of the enemies, but I can give up and leave. So I can give up and leave, and I can do that keystone again because I missed one of the enemies. Absolutely great. Now when I look at this keystone now, Zeb then asked me a question. So Zeb here came up and he said, so what happens, I'll flower it up a bit, but essentially he said, what happens if my iPad runs out of power and the app closes? Do I lose a keystone? Yes, you do. Do you lose a keystone? Do you lose an energy? Yes, you do. You lose 1 cost of energy. Once you press go, that is your energy being used, and that is it. So if you have 0 energy at the end, or once you have 0 energy and your app closed, you then wouldn't have that keystone available to open again. It's just not there. So on this one here, you can now see I've got 1. If I challenge it again, it costs me 1 energy. Now if the app closed partway through this run, that keystone would have no energy attached to it, and I wouldn't see it. It would have been disappear. It will disappear for me. It would not be in my storage. Okay, so just bear that in mind if your app often loses power and it closes for you. Okay, trying to choose my words carefully not to avoid anyone encouraging anyone to break terms of service. I'm not sure if anything's in there, but let's go on about that. So if you're running some of the later ones that are harder, bear in mind 2 energy, that is 2 attempts. Okay, gone are the times where you may lose power and your app may close. Obviously no one's ever done that properly by themselves, but there's a possibility that could happen to you. Okay, so you would lose everything there, or you would lose that keystone, so bear that in mind. If you are someone who loses power quite often to their app and their app closes down regularly when you're trying some of the harder keystones, you may wish to try them before the patch turns up. Okay, that being said, that's pretty much me done. Okay, so that's Halls of Illusions. They're the sort of changes there. I'm relatively pretty happy with them. I need to change up my auto team, give that a little sweep up, so that's all good to go. But other than that, I'm pretty happy with it, to be honest. It's not all bad news. Yeah, just thought you should be aware. Good question by Zeb, so if you see him about, thank him for the question, and tell him he owes me a keystone as well, because it cost me 1 to find that out. Now that's me done. Thank you very much for your time. If you could give me the old thumbs up, like and subscribe, would help me out massively. I'll see you all in a video again soon, and good luck for when the patch comes out. Cheers.